Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be taking a look at another P-90 because like I said in my Cora version of this, um, I asked my different usernames Discord chat what they thought an integrally suppressed P-90 would look like. I got a whole bunch of different responses in the form of Cora and Floppy. Today we're going to be taking a look at Floppy's version. Floppy, for those of you who do not know, is a fantastic person, and she came up with a more swordfish-esque style of integrally suppressed receiver extended P-90. So I actually don't have a rendered image of the first version that we threw together of it, so kind of bear with me. But I've got rendered images of everything else. So this is actually what we started with. I asked him what his favorite colors were. He said green and orange. This is what we went with for the paint scheme. I sent him this particular screenshot. He did not like this particular screenshot for obvious reasons, because this is it's kind of messy looking. It doesn't look exactly as cool as I thought it was. So in later versions we changed it, but you can see we do have the swordfish-esque extension on here. So you've got the integral suppressor, but you also have the receiver extension with a tri-rail system on it, which is really cool. And his version kind of takes up this front grip portion just a little bit. So it kind of makes sense, like this would just slide in and kind of cup around here in terms of, P-90 versions. Again, me personally, I don't think P-90s are good looking unless this area is filled in here with the receiver extension. Because there's a whole bunch of receiver extended P-90s already, but I really want them to kind of fill in this area up here too. So I then proceeded to kind of make my own change once more. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. About the same time we finished making this, someone commented again about how there should be extended P-90 magazines. And unlike with Cora's, where we did a 100-round magazine, we did a 75-round magazine for Floppy's version, so that it was not excessively long, basically. And this is actually what we ended up with. And then we switched to a normal gray paint scheme because I didn't want it to stay orange and green like that. So this is a 75-round magazine. You can see that this is slightly extended. It's not, way out here like Cora's was for the 100-round magazine. And this looks pretty good too. Again, though, I don't like that there's this big gap open up here. It doesn't look right. So I proceeded to then come back and fill that in. So I actually filled that in with a laser and light module, which is, pretty basic. It's not exactly the most incredible thing in the world, but it gets the point across. It looks good, and it fills in that gap so that there's, a good look going on here, in my opinion. And at that point, I don't know who suggested it, but someone was like, oh, it would be really cool if you slapped the F2000 scope cover over it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, so let's do that. So this is actually what we ended up with. This hella big future P-90 looking thing that is ridiculously big and bulky, but again, this is just, it reminds me of something that the Space Force would use regularly. Like, it's got this light module, this laser, it's integrally suppressed, it's got 3 rails on it, it's got this big, bulky scope cover on it. I could just imagine like movie creators, if they were going to use a prop like this, having some heads up display thing inside of here or something like that, that would just, oh man, this thing is huge on the end, and I love it to pieces. It's ridiculously huge, but oh man, I love it. So this is actually what it looks like inside of LDD. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we've talked about the P-90 before. This is just a ridiculously huge thing. You can see you probably wouldn't even put your cheek on the cheek rest. You'd probably have your cheek way up here somewhere to actually aim using this, but oh man, it's just ridiculous fun at this point. The swordfish receiver extension is actually a pretty basic swordfish receiver extension. There's nothing too much going on here. Some upside down building techniques to get this upside down rail and these smooth curves, but that's all pretty basic. And then a couple just color transitions to give it a little bit more depth. Again, pretty basic. You can see that there is actually nothing on the inside in terms of barrel. You can see where the old barrel was, and then you could probably get the barrel to line up through this hole, but you know, that's all basic stuff, no big deal, really. Laser sight and flashlight is all pretty basic stuff too. Nothing too major going on here. Simple, really. And then the F2000 scope, which I don't even know if this is to the scale of the F2000, because I've never made the F2000 with the scope cover. My F2000 just has the rail. So you have no sights really. It's just this 5 stud wide thing down on bottom, the 4 stud wide thing on top with a couple slanted pieces. And yeah, that was it. Really, that's pretty much it. For Floppy's edition of the FNH P-90 integrally suppressed thing, this gargantuan mess of a thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. If you guys want to see stuff like this, don't be afraid to check out my different usernames Discord. Link to join is in his video descriptions. Go check out his most recent P-90 video, actually. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.